Let's continue our saga with loudspeaker solutions, driver recommendations that work with low power amps, work with your Dynacos, and they give you the best mid-range that you can find. So I mentioned previously the Altec 755 drivers, and in Joseph Esmilla's website is jelabs.blogspot.com. He shows here steel button cabinets with these drivers, and these are 8-inch driver, and check that out. These are really baby size, tiny bookshelf loudspeakers, and I wanted to show you this because this is a kind of like an exception to the rule that for low power amps and for single-handed amps you always need really big, huge size boxes. This is one of those rare drivers that works well in a small cabinet, and gives you a really nice experience. But I have to tell you that the laws of physics cannot be ignored, and you can use the exact same drivers, put them in a way bigger cabinet, and they will go 2 octaves lower than what they do in this tiny baby cabinet. So the laws of physics say that if you want bass and efficiency, then you need to have big cabinet. If you just want efficiency alone, you can have it, but then the bass is compromised. But there are solutions where you will still not find that bottom end lacking, and this driver, the 755, and also there's another one, the Diaton P610. These drivers can do this for you to give you a balanced sound. If you want to use modern drivers, they can do this sort of thing to a limited degree, and that limited degree is that their mid-range is not nearly as good as these drivers. But luckily, the P6, oops, it wants to come out. Okay, I show you how it looks, although this is not part of this. It was an unintended side effect of this video. I wanted to show you later on, but this is how the diatom looks like. As you see, it's also an Alnico driver. There's a ferrite version of it, which is cheaper, and they make it today. And look, the surround material is made of goat skin. Check that out. Have you ever heard anything like that? And these are absolutely beautiful full range speakers, which means what is full range? Look, Diaton has, if I can reach the box, I have almost reached it. Check this out. They put the frequency response in the back of the box. This here is the 20 kilohertz line. So, and I can tell you that yes, these guys have a really nice extended top end, and here we have 50 hertz there, so it starts dropping at 70 hertz, and it's nice extension. But every driver, when you have these response measurements, they start to drop a lot in the bass, and it's up to the cabinet and up to the cabinet and your room interface to get your extension down to 30 hertz or 20 hertz or whatever. This is natural basically for every driver, and the slope is pretty amazing for such a tiny little device. And the rated sensitivity here is 90 dB per watt, but when you look at loudspeakers to match with low power amplifiers, you want 95 dB or more, but there are some exceptions like this Diatom and these Western Electric, even though these guys are rated at 90, 91, 92 dB, around that range, that sensitivity, they will work perfectly, even if you have only a 1 watt output power amp. And these sound surprisingly big. And those diatoms they were about double the size of these cabinets. They sounded as big as a huge size floor standing speaker. So let's just get back to these speakers. So what is this cabinet about? This is the Silvertone cabinet, and it's really tiny, and you see it has a port. It's a bass reflex cabinet, but the port is not just a ring, but it's a slot. And I can tell you from my own experience that on every single speaker of mine where I use porting, I use exclusively slot port, and it's the #1 secret for good bass response. When you hear about ported cabinets, and the problems with them, and people who prefer closed, sealed enclosures because they hate that port sound, that hated port sound comes from that ring, from that sphincter, basically. And as Paul McGowan is saying, the burst reflex speakers are farting through that port. But when you have a slot, then there's no farting. It doesn't happen. And I have in my previous videos a couple of explanations how the physics of it work, why a slot port is so much superior to just a hole in the wall. So this is how this driver looks. It doesn't look that pretty, right? Look at the surround, and it has a rib surround. If you can find rib surround, always take that as opposed to that blip in the cone stuff. A couple different versions he shows here. Some pretty serious electronics. And yeah, so I think we will have somewhere down below some showing the inside of the cabinet. Couple of different things. Let's scroll down. Maybe was I right? No, maybe not. I'm sorry. Anyway, maybe I have to make a drawing myself. So thank you for tuning in. We will continue with this guy here, and that's just a classic poster child to show you why there are a lot of people who hate horns, absolutely detest them. And it's also why there are others who just cannot live without them. So what's this great mystery? We will continue with that. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Bye bye.